Space. In case you didn't know, space is pure magic. But unfortunately for many people living in typical cities, space can be very elusive. They're only able to see the brightest stars in the sky because of the light pollution. Nowadays, it's totally possible that people who live in such places never truly get to understand the scope of what's up there. This video is for them, as well as anybody else with a passive interest in space. It's also for me, because I've recently been obsessed with researching random things about space, and I just need to get some of that out of me. So let's dive in with something scary. Want to give yourself a panic attack that lasts 2 seconds? Try visiting this website. The Sky Live tracks a whole bunch of objects in our solar system that may or may not be of interest, and right up here is a whole section on near-Earth objects. Objects that are colored green will be less than 2 lunar distances away on their closest approach. Yellows are less than 1 lunar distance, and reds are less than half a lunar distance, i.e., the most likely to hit Earth. If you're not paying attention, this page can be absolutely terrifying. As you scroll down, seeing all the millions of kilometers objects are from Earth, you'll occasionally see red ones that are only tens of thousands of kilometers away. In terms of astronomical distances, that's terrifyingly close. But as it turns out, the closest approach of any object for the next 10 years was already made by asteroid 2020 SW on September 24th, 2020. So at least for the next decade we can relax and forget about the apocalypse. Let's move away from the scary things for now. How about some neat events to put on your calendar? On April 8th, 2024, a solar eclipse that passes over the US and Canada will take place. This one is especially noteworthy for me, as well as most people I know personally, because it's the first eclipse to pass over my own province of Newfoundland since 1970. Coming sooner than that, on December 21st of this year, Jupiter and Saturn, as we see them from Earth, will come so close together that they'll probably look like they're one in the night sky. If you use a telescope, you will be able to see them both in a single view. To put into perspective how astounding this is, the last time they came that close was in 1623, 397 years ago. And coming even sooner than that is the final good meteor shower of 2020, known as Geminids, which will peak on the night of December 14th. This meteor shower comes around every year at about the same time, so it's not as rare as the previous two things, but I still recommend finding time to see it. According to data from this table on Wikipedia, the average number of meteors that you could see in 1 hour during peak activity is a whopping 146 meteors. Now it's time for the Galaxy Rapid Fire round. The Galaxy GNZ11 is currently the furthest galaxy we've been able to observe. According to the redshifting of this galaxy, it is 32 billion light years away, and it was formed just 400 million years after the Big Bang. The biggest one we've found is IC1101, which is about 2 million light years across. For comparison, the Milky Way is 52,850 light years across. On the other end of the spectrum, the smallest galaxy we know of is Segue 2, which only contains about 1,000 stars. That star count makes it sound more like a star cluster than a galaxy, especially if you compare it to the Milky Way star count of between 100 and 400 billion stars. That's about all the info I have for this video, but before I go, I want to tell you guys a story. I've recently been trying to get into astrophotography, and while I have yet to do a successful run of pictures, I got to see something really special while in pitch darkness on the side of the highway on September 26th. This night was the only night for the next few weeks that was clear, and I had to stay up until around 3:30 a.m. to get a ride to go somewhere dark. Even though it was September, the fact that I stayed up so late meant that the Orion constellation was up high in the sky. After my camera's battery ran out taking pictures of stars, I pointed my telescope towards the Orion Nebula, and what I saw was mind-boggling. There was a white, textured cloud of space dust that I had never noticed before staring right back into my eye. Light emitted by this object had traveled through space for 1,344 years to reach my telescope and be projected onto my retina. That intimacy and the overall experience was just surreal. Seeing something like that almost feels forbidden, like it was never really meant to have the ability to. But there it was. My message to you is this: find the time to go somewhere truly dark, bring a telescope or even a pair of binoculars, and look up. Who knows? What you see might just change your life.